Good afternoon, everybody. Then Actors Business Collective. Happy Thursday afternoon. Today, what I really wanted to talk about, which has been showing up more and more often with the actors and the other artists that I work with, is the overwhelm that comes with trying to do everything. We are so often inundated with so many enticing opportunities that show up for us that it's so easy for us to want to please and say yes to every opportunity that shows up, but sometimes it's not in line with truly what it is that you want as a person, or what you need, or what you're working towards for your acting career or for your life. So the big question is, are you taking the actions? Are you taking actions that are what you want? That's the real question. Are your actions in line with what you really want? Because when that's not happening, then we get this real icky feeling of I'm going in a different direction, or I'm wondering why I'm not feeling like I'm getting any traction, or I feel like I'm spinning my wheels because I'm consistently trying. I'm trying on something new and going through that learning phase, and then usually we do that to completion, and then we realize, this is totally not in service to what I really wanted, especially in our acting career when we're trying to focus on bookings and developing relationship with agents and casting directors. And we get the noise around us gets really loud around us with other opportunities. So today I just wanted to share a few steps for to go through to realign us with what it is that you want. So when these opportunities show up, we can check in with ourselves and ask ourselves, is this in line? This way I can give a solid and confident yes or no answer to taking new actions. So first thing we want to ask ourselves, the first step, asking yourselves is, and it seems really simple, is what is it that I really want? Oftentimes we're just going to say, I have a pretty good idea. I'm kind of moving in this direction. I'm just going to feel it out. But when we don't really know what it is I truly want, then there's no end point, and there's no way to celebrate at the end, or have that sense of fulfillment when that actually occurs. So oftentimes actors will say, I want more bookings, or I want more money, or I want, a new agent, or I want to write a script, or I want to be in shape, or I want to develop this new business on the side. We have to ask ourselves, what is it that I truly want, and pinpoint it down and have that written down on the page. Now, oftentimes we'll ask, with these goals, we have to ask ourselves, this is kind of the key point, is what part of this goal is truly within my reach to accomplish? So is this within my control to accomplish? Getting bookings, that's outside of our range. Unless I'm doing the casting, I can't control whether or not somebody's going to hire me. But what I can do is take actions that fulfill to influence that outcome. So for example, if I really wanted more bookings, what I can do is ensure that I'm self-submitting a certain amount of times, or getting an agent, or putting on a showcase and making sure I do one monologue a month. So this way I'm acting, and this way I'm influencing something that could occur, which would be the booking, by always being in good acting shape. Or having an agent, that's the goal. What I can really influence is sending out 20 packages to agents. So what is it that I really want, and what part of that goal can I really control? Those are two things we want to ask ourselves, just to get clear. So starting with that. Secondly, second step is you want to ask yourself, why is that goal important to my life? Why is that goal important to my life? And this is where sometimes we may create goals because we think we should, or because we have to, or because it's going to make us look good. And if that why isn't deep within you, the real reason why you want it, you won't achieve that goal. There won't be enough sustainable, lasting power to get you through the hurdles or the hardships that will occur. Because if it was easy, you'd just already be doing it. But there's a reason why you're coming up against some type of conflict or difficulty or learning curve. So why is this goal important to me? And from there, once you really understand the why, you'll shift from, well, I have to do this, and then I have to do this, that ongoing to-do list. I have to, I have to go to this person, then I got to do this. What'll shift from is the have to I want to. When you have a strong reason why you want to do this. And because there's so many opportunities that will be available to you. So many, how many times do you hear somebody asking you to help, work behind the scenes on their production, or somebody's helping, somebody's asking you to help do their social media, or help do stand-in work, or help you, or ask you to help them run them lines or prepare for their scenes. There's so many opportunities around us, or a class, or somebody's coming into town to offer this great, exciting opportunity. There are so many enticing opportunities all around us, and we have to ask ourselves, why is this goal important to my life? And it'll realign us with our top priorities, or our values, one might say. And the why really helps sustain us over the long term. The why is this important? Thirdly, we ask ourselves, how can I really commit to this goal to ensure that it happens? How can I really commit? So oftentimes actors will just be like, well, I'll just know. I'll just know in my heart. I'll know when I've reached that level, or I'll know, when I've got that goal. And some are easier than others, because you'll say, yeah, I've got the agent, or I've got the booking. But how do I know when I'm auditioning at my best self, or I've really got the schedule that I really want, because I haven't really defined it the way that I wanted to? So how can I really commit to that goal to ensure that it happens? And a couple things we can do to ensure that is, A, have a plan. Have a solid plan in place, something that's on paper, something that you can see. There's a big shift that occurs from an idea in the mind to something that's down on the paper. It resonates deeply within us, so you can see it. We learn visually, auditorily, and kinesthetically, which is why when you see it down on paper, you'd be like, oh, you know what? After I've seen it down, it's actually not as hard as I thought. Or when we speak it out loud to others, or you share that plan with others, you'd be like, you know what? Now that I say it out loud, it's not as hard as I thought. Or feeling it. It's like, oh, once I got started, it wasn't as difficult as I thought. So a plan in place, a schedule, if you will. So people use a scheduling plan, or I like to, and the people that I've worked with before, it's an action plan. Something that shows the step-by-step procedure to accomplish that goal. And because we framed that goal into that you fully control, it is 100% achievable. And oftentimes that plan or that schedule needs to be smart. It needs to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, or there needs to be some risk, and it needs to be time bound. And that's what really keeps that plan on track. And the second part about having a way to really commit to that is being accountable, or having some form of accountability. And that's why so many actors will go to an acting coach, because it keeps them accountable to, number one, educating them and ensuring that they're learning and developing each week. And oftentimes you'll find that people will work with me because they need some type of business coaching or mentorship in the areas of their lives outside of acting. And sometimes people will just use a friend and say, let's check in every day to ensure that I went to the gym, or that I made that, that heart-pounding phone call to somebody asking for a job, or putting out the resumes. Just somebody or something in line to keep you accountable. So those are four. How can I really commit to ensure this goal happens? And lastly, we want to ask ourselves, number 4 is, how is this action servicing my long-term plan? So for example, we really like to fill our time with, I don't know, could be things or we think are really important. That could be, I need to really clean my house today. Or actually this week, I was working with an actress, and the focus was, I really want to be working on developing my Spanish right now with my Duolingo. And I asked her, is this really in line with the 3 big goals in your life, which were, career development, acting, and there was one more, and I can't remember it, but it wasn't in line. So developing Spanish wasn't on the top priority list. That was something that can occur 3 months down the road, but that was really taking away from things, the time in her life, from her family, her boyfriend, developing her acting career, and developing her side business outside of acting. And once that gets realigned, then there's a real clarity to go after the things we want, to enjoy life outside of our work time, so that we're not consistently feeling guilty. I was speaking with another actress just today, and there's a real health goal in place, and wanting to work out and set a routine up with working out first thing in the morning. And an opportunity presented herself to work with a personal, with a fitness coach, but the time wasn't necessarily right for her. It was later in the day, and it was a real hindrance on the rest of her goals. So although this was a real opportunity to work with a fantastic coach, it wasn't necessarily the right time for her. So, we posed a couple questions, and now there's an opportunity there to possibly work at a different time, to really go after the things that she wants. So how is this action that I'm taking servicing my long-term goals? Or what is problem does this action serve? And if I can't come up with the answer, then I know it's not really servicing me in the long term, and I'm just filling my time with busy work that might look good, or I'm avoiding something that's deeper. So these are 4 steps. So I'll just repeat them again. The first thing is getting really clear. Why is this important to me? What is really important to my life right now? And getting clear with that, whether it's acting, health, financial, family. What is it that I really want? And is what within that is within my control to achieve? So this way I create a frame of something that's 100% allowable for me to accomplish. Number 2, why is this important to my life? If I don't know the big why this is important to my life, a sustainable goal to achieve when the going gets tough. It sounds good right now, but 3 days later when life starts coming at me, it's easy to put that aside. So I need to know and keep that visible. Why is that important to my life in the long term? 1 year into the future, 3 years into the future, and have this written down. Thirdly, how can I stay accountable to this goal? So that could be broken down into having a strong plan, a scheduled plan, whether it's in a day planner. I like to work with an action plan, and the people that I work with, we get set up with a full-on step-by-step action plan. And the B part of that is finding accountability, whether it's through a coach, a friend, a mentor? How can I have something outside of myself that's going to get me through the parts that I can't see, those blind spots? And 4, when the opportunity is presented to me, does the how is this action servicing me in the long run? And if I don't have a clear answer for that, I know it's a simple no answer. Is this in line with my 3 actions, my action plan? So if anyone has any questions, now is a great time. And I'm not seeing anything show up. So this is just a bit of a quick snippet for anyone that's looking to, number 1, stay on track. Number 2, create more confidence in the steps that you are taking to developing your career in a way that's scalable and growing. So, because otherwise there's that feeling of constant, am I making the right choice? I feel like I should be doing this. It eliminates it. So if anyone that hasn't worked with me before, a great opportunity for you to take this deeper is for our the Build a Plan, Book the Part workshop that I'm offering with Laura McDonald. It's on June 24th, and we're going to spend half the day really creating a customized plan for you that's going to allow you to know exactly what top priority goals are you want in your life, how to build a plan around them, and how to create accountability and structures around it to really ensure that it occurs. As well, throughout the second half of the day, you'll be working with Laura, creating a beginning, middle, and end for all auditions so that you have techniques to really win the room. If you haven't worked with Laura, she's an exceptional coach. Everyone that she's been working with has been booking in the room or getting more callbacks. She's got a great success rate. This is going to be a fantastic workshop. So if anyone has any questions, please, by all means, send them to me or to Laura. So if anyone has any questions, that's great, or feel free to ask. And if not, then thank you, everyone. Go out there and get what you want. Wow, I'm real tongue-tied today. Okay, everyone. Bye. Thanks.